For this effect, I could start off by giving the deck just a little a shuffle like this. After I have finished shuffling the cards, I would explain to the participant that for this effect, I'm going to make two piles of cards to start off. So with both of these piles now, the participant can go ahead and shuffle both piles just like this. After they have finished shuffling both piles, I explain to them that I would like for them to go ahead, cut both piles wherever they would like, look at the card they cut to, and remember it. So here is the first card. Go ahead and remember that. And for the second pile, let's say they cut here, and this is the second card. So, with both piles cut and both cards remembered, what I would do is go ahead and mix up the deck like this. And if the participant would like, they could give the deck as many cuts as they would like. Let's say they're good there. I explained to them that for this, I'm going to try to find their first card. So I would like for them to go ahead and think of their first selection. Uh, okay, I'm really not getting a feeling of any of these cards. So let's try something a little different for their first card. From the top of the deck, go ahead and cut off less than half the cards and leave them to the side. Let's say they cut this many and they leave them to the side. With the rest of the deck now, what we're going to try to do is find their second card, okay? But in order to do that, we're going to go ahead and fish some cards out of the deck just like this. And now I think I set up the deck in order to find their second card. So go ahead and think of that for me now. Um, I'm not really getting anything for either of your cards. So I'm going to leave these two piles here. So now I'm going to show the participant the rest of the cards, and all they have to do is just tell me if they see one or both of their cards. So I'm going to assume that they don't see any of their cards. I would then ask them for the first pile of cards, go ahead and count the pile and tell me the number of cards you have at the end. So in this case, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 cards. Now go ahead and count the second pile as well. You had 18 cards in the first pile. Let's see what you have in the second pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 cards. A perfect match just like that. However, that isn't the effect. Even though I was able to match the two piles, which was something I didn't tell you, you did look at two cards and remember them. And in order to do that, all you did was cut the piles, look at the cards you cut to, remember them, and then complete the cut. So, in order to find your two cards, all I have to do is spread out the first pile and then spread out the second pile, and you will see in all of these red cards is one indifferent card, the three of clubs, and in the black pile is one red card, the eight of hearts. And that is the trick. If you would like to learn how to do this, please stick around for the tutorial. Before I get into the tutorial for this trick, the cards I am using are the Red False Anchors Workers Edition. I have a deck review on these, which I will link in the description. I also won these as part of a brick giveaway from Sean Devine. So I will go ahead and link that unboxing and also Sean's channel in the description as well. So for this effect, before you even attempt it, you are going to need 52 cards. No jokers, no ad cards. So let's say you have 52 cards. You're going to do a setup, and it actually is, I would say, a big setup, but not really also. Let me show you what I mean. What you're going to do is go ahead and split the deck into 26 red and 26 black. Now, with one of the piles, okay, you're going to take any card out. In this case, the Seven of Hearts. It may be hard to see on camera, but you're going to put a little pencil dot right here in the corner, okay? It may be hard to see, but with the false anchors here, it actually came with a duplicate Seven of Hearts with a pencil dot, and you want this card to match uh, one of the halves. So it can't be the Seven of Hearts with the black. It has to be with the red. So depending how you want to do this, here's what you're going to do. If you're not going to do any false shuffles and or cuts, okay, something you can do for your setup is placing the 7 on top of the red pile and then all of the black cards on top of there. And then when you say you're going to start the effect, you're just going to spread down. And then when you see that pencil dot, just split it. So now the 7 is on top of all of the red. And then you can set them down like this. Another thing you can do if you want with no false shuffles and cuts is place the 7 on the bottom of the red and then on top of the black. So then when you say you're going to make two piles, when you see that pencil dot, just split it so now it's on the bottom of the red and then set it down. If you do want to do some false shuffles and cuts, I will link some in the description. Here is the setup I did and then the shuffle I did. So I took all the 7 or all the red cards, I placed that 7 on top, and then I placed all the black on top. What I did was the Ireland shuffle. I don't have a tutorial of it on YouTube, but I do have a tutorial for the move it uses, the overhand shuffle, which I will link in the description. So what you're gonna do for this shuffle is either uh, chop off less than half the cards, or you can start by running a few singles. It really doesn't matter. You just want it less than half. So let's say we have this many cards. You're then going to go singles, and you're going to do this until you get past your halfway mark, which would be that 7. I have less than half, so now I can do either singles or chunks. And if I did this right, it's going to move the two colors around, but it's going to keep all the blacks with blacks. We have that key card right there in the middle, and then all of the red. Now you explain that you're going to make two piles of cards. So I go through, and when I see that a 7, all I do is I just split it. So now it's on the bottom of the red pile here. Depending how you set it up with that shuffle, it may be on the top, okay? and then the red would be here. So you're going to have to play around with the shuffle with both setups and then just remember which way it works. So you're going to split these, and now both piles can really be shuffled as much as the participant would like. So there's the first shuffle, and then here is the second shuffle. You're going to have both piles cut. So let's say this is the first pile. They go ahead and remember the card. We'll turn these face up just for tutorial sake. Once they remember it, don't have them place it back down on the pile. Place it in front of them. And then for this pile, we're going to do the same thing. We'll turn that card around, and then they'll remember this and set it down in front of them. You come back and you say, okay, we're gonna mix up the deck now. So you're gonna grab either one of these piles, let's say this one, and you're gonna place it on the opposite pile. So don't place it on the selection, and don't place it back where they cut it off from. Just place it on the pile next to it. So we know we cut from this pile. This pile is next to the pile we cut from. We're going to place it on here. And then this pile will go on here. And now it really doesn't matter which pile goes on top of the other. Let's say there. And then this is optional, but you can have the deck cut as many times as the participant would like. So they're going to cut some cards over and then complete the cut. You take back the cards and you say you're going to try to find the first person's card. So keep in mind, everything would be like this, but I'm going to expose it for a tutorial. You're going to spread through the bottom and you're going to see one big group of the same color, in this case, black. And then immediately you're going to see a different color, in this case, red. This is going to be one of the selections. So I'm going to try to find the first card. This is all black. And then this is the first different card. You're going to take all of these cards and cut them to the bottom. Okay? So I'm going to try to find your first card. Here is all of the black. Here's the red. It's still in the same order when I was spreading, but now I'm going to cut these to the bottom. Turn the deck over to face down and have the participant from the top of the deck cut off less than half the cards. Let's say this many and put them to the side. You take the rest of the deck now, and what you're going to do is sort of a Pharaoh shuffle, okay? I think I might have a tutorial on the Pharaoh, which I will link in the description. If I don't, however, I will leave some videos in the description of the Pharaoh. But for this, what you're going to do is cut less than half of the deck here, okay? So around 5 to 10 cards, and you want this to be perfect. It doesn't matter where in the middle you do it, but you do want a perfect Pharaoh shuffle, okay? Just like this, okay? So that is a perfect Pharaoh shuffle in the middle of the deck here. So all you're gonna do is, if you have to turn the cards, go ahead and bend this bottom half up, and then open up your hand some. Just move these cards out, and because they're bent, they should move out easily. And then the top and bottom cards will just go into your hand. You can then put these on top and finish the shuffle. You then say you're going to try to find the second card the first way you found the first card. So you're going to go through. In this case, we see all red, and then this is the first indifferent card. You can say that you're not really getting any feeling, and then put this pile down, face down. And now this is good because you are left with a big block of red and black mixed up cards. So now you can ask the participant if they really see any one of their cards. And they should say no if you did everything right. And also if you took out duplicate cards too. Obviously, you need 52 cards, but you really don't want any duplicates. So I took out the regular 7 of hearts without the pencil dot. So once they confirm they don't see their card, you ask the first participant to go ahead, count their pile, and tell you the number out loud. And if you notice, this is going to put the one selection to the bottom. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we have 16 cards here. Go ahead, second participant, count your pile as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. A perfect match. So you can talk about how you didn't mention during the trick, but you were going to try to match both piles to be the same. And in this case, they're both 16 cards. And then once this excitement has, died down, or a few minutes has passed, I'd like to recap the trick because now both cards are on the bottom here, and you're going to want these cut into the middle. So in order to do that, I say, so what you did to find your cards, or to get your two cards, was you cut the deck wherever you wanted. So you're gonna cut the deck wherever you want. You looked at the cards and you remembered them. And in this case, they're gonna be different colors, so you can show them. And then you went ahead and complete the cut. So I put the top halves over to the side, and now the bottom halves go on top. And now you're all set. You can say okay. So in order to find your two cards, all I have to do is spread out both halves, and I am gonna see from all of the black cards here, one indifferent card, the ace of hearts, and from the red half, one indifferent card, the jack of spades, just like that. And that is the trick. So I hope you really enjoyed this effect. If you are new here, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time with a new video. Bye.